you give me that Nicolas Cage face. Welcome back to the Fanema Movie Podcast, episode 18. We're back in the studio. I'm here with my brother Miguel, of course, as usual. And, well, first off, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Finally getting over being sick.
Good.
The cool thing about it is I feel that, although I'm past it now, I feel like when I was sick, I had a cool radio voice, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Unfortunately, that's sort of run its course. But we got a lot of news that dropped recently. Not a lot of news, but really trailers. We do have a big... What is she doing?
She's licking the door.
The pug is licking the door?
Yeah.
Well, you know, what's new? It's better than the wall?
I guess.
But Warner Brothers... Sorry, just going to get straight into it. Warner Brothers recently, a day ago, announced that they will be skipping Hall H this year at Comic-Con completely. And I was shocked. I will say I was shocked. That's a Marvel move to make.
Yeah.
Really, I'm surprised that Marvel goes to Comic-Con at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they haven't started their own convention similar to Star Wars Celebration. Because
that would be incredible.
They certainly have the fan base now. And what Star Wars doesn't have is 3 movies a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm actually a bit... Well, I guess they have D23, and I think that's why they're not going to Hall H. Wait, is Marvel going to be there?
I don't know,
but either way, DC's not going to be there, which is odd to me because they have such, an interesting slate that we really don't know the connectivity of it all. We don't know what they're doing with the universe necessarily at this point. Are they connected? Are they all separate? But what we do know is that we have a Joker movie coming.
Yep.
We have Wonder Woman 1984 coming out next summer.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Birds of Prey coming out next year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that Hall H was a clear choice for DC. Not that they necessarily need it, but I'm just a little surprised because even when they were doing like quote unquote bad, like they're still making money, but Batman v Superman goes to Hall H and it wins the year.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad goes to Hall H and it wins the year. Like it's just their big events. And people, regardless of what the movies come out, love DC's presence and Warner Brothers in general at Hall H. So to see them pull out and not really have anything to fall back on like Marvel would have, pulling out, it makes sense because they have D23 and because all of their movies are making $1 billion at least.
Yeah.
It sort of makes more sense to me. I've never been to Comic-Con. You've never been to Comic-Con, but we always follow closely and we always wish that we were there.
Yeah.
If there's no Disney presence, really, and there's no DC presence, really, I mean, I know there's still a lot going on at Comic-Con, but does that sort of take some of the shine away? And do you think that makes San Diego Comic-Con worry, at least, because of how they haven't really made any progressive moves? They haven't done all the expansion that they were promised to do, and it seems as though their security isn't very tight and people are sort of starting to move away.
Yeah, I think it is a worrisome thing for Comic-Con because those are some of the big heavy hitters in the industry, and them deciding not to showcase at one of the biggest events of the year in terms of movie, like comic
like media
movie
coverage.
Yeah, I think it should be worrisome for them saying like these huge names in the industry are like, no, I think we're good this year.
Yeah, and it's a recurring thing, and I think that along those lines, I mean, not only is it just DC, so saying DC pulls out, Warner Brothers isn't going to be there. You're not going to have DC. You're not going to have any sort of Fantastic Beast presence.
Yeah.
No King Kong, and no Godzilla. None of that. None of that's going to be there. And so, yes, you're always going to have a fan base, and it's always going to sell out and all that stuff. But I do think that in the long term, they should be worried. I think they need to change the venue already. It shows every year that the security is terrible. I mean, everything gets leaked. Everything gets leaked so fast that they don't want to get leaked. But yeah, I really don't think it really matters for DC at this point. I was surprised, but I mean, their movies are still going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how the Joker's going to perform, to be honest, because I don't know if people really know what it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot. The way I look at the Joker, every time I see the trailer, I think more and more V for Vendetta.
Okay.
You've seen that, right?
No.
Oh,
Yes, I know. A recurring segment
all right,
of
yeah.
Miguel hasn't seen this movie.
What's Miguel not seen this week? Well, it's giving me a lot of V for Vendetta vibes. That's like a 3-hour movie, a lot of dialogue, a lot of just sort of slow burn leading up to big events. And I see that happening. I see this whole like revolt going, and I don't know how I feel about that story-wise. I don't want Joker to be this like, I know it's going to happen, but I don't want the Joker to be like this big figure of hope or like going against the man. Yes, let's all wear Joker masks and revolt against the system. I don't know about that. Robert De Niro is in it though, and he looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the movie. I think it's gonna be great. I just wish it was different.
Okay.
I just wish it was a different character. Make it I don't know. I don't know who. Just not the Joker. It's like my problem with Venom, my problem with Suicide Squad, my problem with the list goes on when you make a movie about a villain is they're not a villain.
Yeah.
Nobody can commit to making the villain a villain these days when they're the centric part of the movie, which sort of bothers me. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. But they didn't give us they didn't just leave us empty-handed when they pulled out of Comic-Con. They did give us a Wonder Woman 1984 teaser poster, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Just a poster.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put teaser in there, but it's giving all the 80s vibes.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you got the tie colors going on. You got all the different. You got the most glaring thing. The funny thing is the poster's so vibrant and so colorful and so loud that I didn't even notice the costume for the first second.
Really?
Because like I'm just like it's a lot to take in.
There's
you know?
there's a lot going on.
I had to put my sunglasses on.
Maybe you should put your regular glasses on.
I'm looking at it, and you know it looks great. I have some questions.
Okay.
It's looking very Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, her costume's looking rather Aquaman, if I do say so myself.
That's what I was going to get to next. Her actual costume looks very Atlantean, very... I mean, it's like, did they just...
Copy paste?
Copy paste, or like, were the seamstress are in there or whatever, the costume designers like, well, we got extra of that costume.
But it does look cool.
It does look cool. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
cool. I think that I'm glad they went that way. I think it's smart to go away from, even though I love the original costume, but I think that it leaves too much room for. I mean, you watch Justice League,
Yeah.
man. Every shot. I'm not trying to. I like Zack Snyder. I don't know if it was him, if it's Joss Whedon. Every shot of Wonder Woman
Yeah.
starts from behind at the ankles and goes up.
Yeah.
I remember going to see it in IMAX, and it's just like
It was a bit much.
it was a bit much. And I think that this costume, I mean, you always hear sort of complaints from, you know, like I know Elizabeth Olsen was on the set of Avengers, like, why do I have to wear these like really revealing corsets? And like Black Widow doesn't, and you know, all these characters don't. And I don't think Wonder Woman needs to be not that she was being sold off of her looks necessarily, but I just think that this outfit looks very regal and really fitting of the character. A little Power Rangers-ish. I'll say that.
Yeah, I see it.
I see some Power Rangers going on. But I'm not really worried about any of that. I have my worries about the film, but that's just because of Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
That ending in Wonder Woman 1 really, really got me, man. It really got me.
Should have stayed dead.
He should have stayed dead.
He's not Captain America.
He's not Captain Puerto Rico either. Look, I just hope... Okay, I'm pretty sure they confirmed that he's actually alive and back, which hurts. I hope it's her seeing things throughout the movie. We get some weird Arkham Knight, Joker on Batman's shoulders.
Oh, God.
Just a ghost, Force Ghost Chris Pine. Can we get Force Ghost Chris Pine?
I guess.
Oh, God. What if she has a vision? It's like, oh, my God, it's Steve. And then she goes and it's actually a pine. It's just a tree.
Stop.
Not on board with that one?
No.
Not on board. All right. But, I mean, what do you think of the poster? Does it do anything for you? Does it sell you on the movie? Does it sell you on the idea that they're going to really lean into the 1980s?
Yeah, it's very 80s. And, I mean, I dig it. It makes me excited because we haven't really seen anything besides that first couple teaser images.
Of like them in the mall and Cheetah.
This just like screams 80s right here.
Hey guys, the movie's in the 80s. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I like it. June 5th, 2020, that movie's coming out. But we do have more to talk about, and the rest of the show is pretty much all trailers. We had three pretty big trailers come out. And as I'm going to be racing to the cinema on June 5th, 2020 to watch Wonder Woman, we have another trailer of some guys racing to beat Ferrari.
Wow.
The Americans are trying to beat Ferrari once again. We have the new Ford v Ferrari trailer starring Christian Bale, Matt Damon, from director James Mangold, who directed Logan and 310 to Yuma. He's a fantastic director. Those are his highlights, of course. I don't want to. He's directed other films. But I think that when you look at his filmography, sorry to go away from the trailer for a second, I think that he really does shine when he has more of a leash. And I think that goes for a lot of directors.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at The Wolverine, the first half of that movie is really, really fantastic, and it's great. But he was unfortunately weighed down by a PG-13 rating and a narrative that I don't know what happened.
Oh, man, if it could have been rated R.
Yeah, it'd been awesome.
It would have been great.
We would have seen Wolverine, like, dicing up some ninjas.
See, like,
we didn't get to see any of it.
It was the perfect setting for a rated R Wolverine.
It was, because we had him, we had ninjas. What more do you... I want Wolverine dicing up ninjas, all right? Sword fighting with claws and samurai swords. I don't know. It's what we should have had. Unfortunately, all we had was them shooting hooks into his back.
Copious amounts of hooks into his back.
Yeah, hooks, arrows, all that. They went fishing for some Logan, and that was about it. Then we had him fight a weird metal guy, and that was about it. We got a tease of his outfit. But back to the trailer.
Yeah.
It starts out with Christian Bale talking to Noah Jupe, who you may know from, he was the kid, the son in A Quiet Place. Not the infant.
Cool.
But the boy.
I figured.
He was also in, you haven't seen Wonder yet, have you?
No, I have not.
I am going to force feed you that movie after this is over. He's in that movie. He's tremendous. He's definitely one of my favorite child actors working. He may be my favorite at the moment.
Okay.
He may have overtaken, he's in Wonder also. He was in Room.
Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah. I think he may have overtaken him on my personal list.
Okay.
Which is saying a lot. But we have them, father and son, sort of talking about, the race and talking about life. It's an interesting movie. Oh. You got something to share with class, young man?
I do not.
Well, so what do you think of the trailer, though?
I thought it was very interesting. I had just seen it for the first time.
Have you seen Rush?
No, I haven't. You keep telling me that I'd very much enjoy it. Yeah, I know.
Okay, look, every time you have not seen something, you get R2. And that's a
fair.
disappointed R2, all right?
That's fair.
Actually, that's not disappointed R2. That's like a head-spinning R2. He'd spin that head all around.
Yeah.
But I think you would love Rush. And this is giving me some Rush vibes.
Okay.
Not Big Time Rush.
Of course.
Not Rush the band. But Rush the film from Uncle Ron.
Uncle Ron?
Uncle Ron.
That makes me want to see it even more.
Yeah, man. Chris Hemsworth. You got Daniel Bruhl.
Okay.
It's fantastic. But can you stop playing with the water bottle?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what Christian Bale... Well, Christian Bale doesn't need anything. He can do whatever he wants. He hasn't done anything wrong. Like, he hasn't taken any bad roles in so long. I don't know if I even remember him ever taking a bad role. I'm sure it's happened, but I can't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what Matt Damon desperately needed. You take a look back at this man's filmography.
Okay.
Now, give me a moment because I'm going to pull it up. Not that I need to. I think I can just rattle them off. But when you look at his films in a row, going back, I mean, it's unprecedented to see how... And I do love Matt Damon. You look at my movie shelf, I got a ton of his movies.
Yes, you do.
I'm a big fan. Boston.
But
we don't need him to be the white savior anymore. Like
we don't
in
need
Elysium.
him to go into some foreign land.
All right, so let's go down his acting credits. He played Redneck Number 2 as Dickie Greenleaf in Deadpool 2. We won't count that.
Yeah, no.
Thor Ragnarok. Okay, Thor Ragnarok, another cameo. You didn't
Oh,
know he was
yeah,
in
yeah,
Thor?
yeah.
Okay. Unsane, he was another cameo. You know, Unsane, the movie that was shot on the iPhone horror film by
I remember it coming
Steven
out.
Soderbergh. But let's go. Suburbicon, bad. I'm sorry.
God, that was one of my most disappointing movies I've ever seen.
I
in
forgot
my
about
life.
that. I remember you texted me. You were excited to go see
I was
it.
so excited to see it, and that just it ruined my day. It honestly ruined my entire day watching
Thanks,
it.
George Clooney.
Like, I don't
You're
even want
just
to
in
talk about it.
Suburbicon. Before that, the critical darling Downsizing. Did you see Downsizing?
I did not.
Damn. Damn. That ruined my day. I was so excited. I loved the trailer. I thought it looked like a great time. Looked like Matt Damon had. I'm like, man, is this going to be the next We Bought a Zoo?
No.
Before that, The Great Wall.
Yikes.
Yikes is right. Jason Bourne, which I did like.
Yeah, it was good.
Didn't live up to the rest of the franchise necessarily, but I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I think I own it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. The Martian, fantastic.
Yep.
Interstellar, fantastic. Monuments Man, But that's the point. He had Elysium before that. He's had like 5 really, really bad movies in a row.
Yeah.
And those are years, man. It's been The Martian came out in 2015.
Jesus.
Yeah. Best comedy. Thanks, Golden Globes. Yeah, won the best comedy at the Golden Globes. The Martian. But yeah, this is a big win. Looks like a big win. It's coming out in awards time. It looks like it is. No jokes aside, a critical darling.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a compelling story. The racing looks visceral, and I'm just completely on board. Especially James Mangold. He's on a hot streak right now. He should have been nominated for a lot of things, including Best Director. For Logan, it should have been nominated for Best Picture.
Wait, he wasn't even nominated for Logan?
The only nomination Logan got was Best Adapted Screenplay.
That is...
Yep. Hugh Jackson should have been nominated for Best Actor.
Because it truly transcended the comic book genre.
It was just a fantastic film. I put in the same breath as The Dark Knight, which we were just watching before we came in here. And in my personal pick, Patrick Stewart should have won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
In Logan. He was fantastic. He was lights out. He is one of the people who have made it out unscathed from the X-Men franchise, similar to the way we talk about the Star Wars prequels. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Ewan McGregor, Mace Windu.
So he doesn't get his real name?
Good old Sheev Palpatine. Okay. Ewan McGregor. Samuel L. Jackson. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
And, why am I forgetting old Uncle Sheev? Ian McDermott.
Yep.
All unscathed out of the prequels. X-Men, not as poorly looked back on, I think.
Not at all.
But X3 does get a lot of flack. But there's definitely a lot of blame that goes around. None of that lands on Patrick Stewart.
No.
And this is by far his best performance as Professor X in Logan.
For sure.
And it's one of his best performances of his career, one of my favorite performances the last few years. And yeah, no nominations. Nothing for it. So I do hope that this is a redemption of that. I don't want to pity Oscar if it's bad.
Yeah.
But I want them to, recognize him if it warrants it. And it does look like it's going to warrant it.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely on my short list of Oscar bait films I'm already excited for.
Okay.
But you never know what's going to come. My favorite movie of all time, La La Land.
Yep.
Well, it's in a 2-way-ish tie. It's up there. I didn't even really know about it until, September, October that year.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know what's going to pop up. I can pray that another La La Land surfaces. Doubt it. But you never know.
That's what they wanted The Greatest Showman to be.
I didn't want The Greatest Showman to be that. It wasn't Damien Chazelle. Huh?
Yeah, Damien Chazelle. No, it wasn't.
No, it was not. That's what I'm saying.
But it was the
same songwriters.
Yeah, same songwriters.
Yeah, and the songs are the best part of the movie.
And I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, I remember one, but that's just because of the Oscars. This Is Me or something. I don't know. Fun fact, at Star Wars Celebration, one of the actors from The Greatest Showman came up on the Star Wars show live.
Uh-huh.
And I apologize, I don't remember his name. But he seemed like a real bright fellow.
The only two male actors I remember from that movie are Hugh Jackman.
He's the little guy.
And Zac Efron. If that's not their name, I don't remember.
He was one of the performers.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he wants to be in a Star Wars movie, and I second that. So
okay.
Kathleen, if you listen to this, hire the man. But I forgot what I was talking about.
Oscar capabilities.
Yeah. So I mean, it's on my short list. And yeah. But is it on your short list?
Sure, why not? It looks great.
You don't even have a short list, do you?
I don't have a short list, but it looks great. It looks like one of those films that you would definitely see presented at the Oscars.
Yeah, it definitely does. With Matt Damon maybe performing live a song from the film. Is Belle laying on her bed?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna take a picture of that. But these guys, it's all about Shelby and Ferrari, and they're racing onward. And speaking of onward, Pixar's racing onward with their next film starring Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. Onward to an adventure, a trek, a journey, if you will.
A quest, as they said.
A quest, as they say, cometh soon.
Cometh soon.
I'll be honest. Didn't really feel this one, man.
See, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Disney Pixar fan.
See, and you haven't seen Coco.
Okay. No, I have not.
I'm a huge Disney Pixar fan.
Eli, I've seen Monsters, Inc. like plus 400 times.
The guy, funny you bring that up, the man directing this movie is Dan Scanlon, and he wrote and directed Monsters University.
Cool.
Now this is interesting because I really do enjoy Monsters University, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great. But he didn't have to do necessarily a lot of world building. You took the characters you had, you put them in college.
Yeah.
With this is an entire world. This is a weird. The way I like to put it is, it looks like a fantasy film put in a society.
Yeah.
They just took fantasy and they put it in society, and I'm sure that there's clearly going to be some profound message. You can already see that by, it's like going to be a social commentary to a degree.
It's Pixar, and there's brothers in the movie.
And a society.
There's going to be some profound message.
It doesn't, and we spoke about this before we went on air, it doesn't feel Disney.
It doesn't feel Disney. Like, after watching the trailer, the landscape itself looks very Pixar. To me, at least.
Pixar or DreamWorks?
Pixar,
okay.
But the village part and the characters inside the village look very, very DreamWorks.
Yeah, they do. And one thing that stuck out to me is that I think usually when Pixar is pitching a new IP, there's usually something that sticks with you, There's something that really hooks you. And I haven't felt this way about a Pixar property, seeing, footage and a trailer since The Good Dinosaur. Because The Good Dinosaur, it did nothing for me.
Yeah,
the trailer did nothing for me. I'm excited to see Tom Holland and Chris Pratt and what they can do together.
Yeah.
But it does, it's just like the banter between them, it just felt very DreamWorks, not trying to.
And that's not a bad thing on DreamWorks.
No, it's not Pixar. It didn't film. And the funny thing is, it's all about magic. Magic's in the trailer. I think they use a word. But I didn't feel the magic.
Yeah, no.
So fingers crossed. I've said this before. I wasn't too high on something like what's the Pixar movie with the feelings?
Inside Out.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I
great.
wasn't. Yeah, the trailers didn't sell me. The premise didn't sell me. Although I found the premise to be original and all that, I just for whatever reason it really didn't pique my interest until we bought it on DVD and watched it.
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Sorry. So of course it's Pixar. I'm gonna go see it. You can't say that because you didn't see Coco.
Yeah,
hold that over your head until you see it.
And can I just say one thing?
No.
I know that The Good Dinosaur is a Pixar film. I don't count it.
Is it on your shirt?
No, it's not.
Well, then they don't count it either.
It doesn't count.
And look, Good Dinosaur isn't a bad movie, but
You've seen it?
you have.
Dang it.
It's not bad. Yeah, who's a big Pixar fan here?
Yeah, I own a Pixar button-up shirt. It has basically everyone.
Stolen Valor.
It has Stolen
Look,
Valor.
man, I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying that.
Wow,
if
that
the
hurts,
boot
Eli.
fits, if the boot fits, you're talking to a guy who's seen every Pixar film here. All right, so step off. Look,
But who has more time watching Pixar films?
in the last
This
5
guy.
years,
Still probably me.
doubt. Big doubt, actually.
Dang.
We'll log the hours. We'll figure this out. If you're right, I'll buy you a
No, I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm wrong.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree. But as Onward goes, so one more thing before we move on. They really didn't give us much. We know they're going on a journey. Two brothers going on some weird van. What are they doing?
Yeah, I don't, because Tom Holland's character says, "Oh, we're just running some weird errand,"
Yeah.
and Chris Pratt's like, "No, we're going on a quest."
Yeah, they're going on a quest, like, for what? They need some yak milk? Do they need to pay their water bill? Are they going after the Eye of Agamotto
Perhaps.
on in the shadows of Mordor? And I don't know. Does this mess up the Pixar theory?
Perhaps.
Perhaps it does. What if the entire rest of the Pixar universe is on a keychain?
Like, maybe, what if this
Men
is
in Black
like
style.
the bridge between the humans
Terabithia?
turning into monsters, like the Pixar theory?
Oh my god.
D-
I don't want it. I don't want
This
it.
is the next step in human evolution.
I don't want it because that just blows up the entire space of it all. Which is funny because in the next trailer we're going to talk about, Ad Astra, there's this big explosion, a surge, if you will. Ad Astra, I didn't even know.
Wow.
I didn't even look, man.
Wow.
I feel on top of my game right now. All right, look, Ad Astra, a new film starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, directed by James Gray, who directed The Lost City of Z, which is very, very underseen. Also starring Tom Holland and Charlie Hunnam,
Okay.
and I believe Freddie Mercury himself.
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek. Yeah, I believe he's in there as well. No. Rob Pat.
Yeah, I was going to say Lost
Pattinson.
City of Z. That's Battinson.
And you haven't even seen it, have you?
No, I have not, but I knew that much.
Yeah, Battinson's in it. He's fantastic. If you haven't seen him in anything but Twilight, please do yourself a favor. It's a slow movie. It's not
I
for
haven't
everyone.
seen him in anything.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen anything with Robert Pattinson.
Not even Twilight.
Not even
You're a
Twilight.
clean slate, brother. You are a
Which is
clean
why I'm
slate.
like, yeah, I'm fine with him.
I think I've seen most of his movies, if not all. Well, outside of Twilight, I saw, as I've said before, like the last act of the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have zero comments on it. I was vastly confused and sort of didn't care. But this is an interesting trailer. Sci-fi seems somewhat. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to be high concept, but it's sort of just. We're gonna see how it goes. I get a lot of Interstellar vibes.
That's what I was going to say. It gives me, like, not as high, like,
It's not a Nolan film.
yeah.
But I do think that they're leaning heavily into. I don't know. It just seems like this movie's going to go a lot of places. When
Yeah.
you look, it looks like they're shooting at each other on rovers.
Yeah.
And
They're getting shot out on Mars, like moon rovers.
yeah, because at first I'm like, okay, this is definitely feels like the director of Lost City of Z. It feels very slow and very much a character piece about a man and his lost father who he admires and all this kind of stuff, which I think it will be, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, the last couple seconds of the trailer is like, boom, 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 boom. We're shooting at each other on rovers. We're going through space. We're on some weird vessel. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
They're talking about aliens. They're talking about weird substances. They're talking about the nth dimension.
Were they talking about other dimensions?
No, but
No, they
I
weren't.
just imagine that it may come up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I'll ask a couple questions, though.
Okay.
Since we really don't know much.
We don't know
Well,
anything.
we know much more about this than we do Onward.
Yeah.
So we're going to go onward by asking you, Are we gonna see aliens?
No.
I was gonna vote no as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see actual aliens. They might be alluded to.
Yeah. And they talk about how
they talk about how the mission was to find extraterrestrial life.
But then I think they almost ruined a curve of the movie or a twist
by saying how he was working on.
It wasn't actually to find extraterrestrials, unless there's more to it, which there could be, on how maybe we can't understand the compound or whatever he's working on, so he's trying to find another species or life form that maybe could, since we're all in the same solar system or whatever the hell they said. So, yeah, I don't know. This movie seems like it would be very long because, I mean, they got to build the world first off. They got to make us believe we're in the world. And then they got to get Brad Pitt from Earth to space to Earth again to space again, shooting people on a rover. There's a lot of stuff to explain there.
Because how long was Interstellar?
Interstellar's like 2 hours and 34 minutes.
Add another 20 at least to this.
I doubt it. It probably needs it. Actually, no, I don't know. Lost City of Z is pretty long, I think. So hopefully they gave him time. But yeah, I'm sold on the trailer. Going into it, I'm like, Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, space movie. I don't know. I love Brad Pitt when he's working with the right guys or whoever, the right people. But yeah, I'm sold, man. It looks interesting. It looks like Brad Pitt's doing his thing. He's having a great year. If this movie pans out with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and then add Astra, I believe this is coming out in September, which is, around that awards time. Like, you can get awards consideration push in September.
Yeah.
If it was August, I'd be like, no hope, throw it out.
Yeah.
Because almost any sci-fi movie that comes out in the month of August is doomed from the start. Although August, man, I just want to bring it up again. Wind River came out in August. We just watched that.
That was incredible.
You liked it?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. Taylor Sheridan and one of my friends recently got into Yellowstone, which is this Paramount exclusive show, which is weird. Taylor Sheridan wrote, and I believe he's directing it. They're going into season 2 in a couple weeks. It's called Yellowstone. Once again, he always includes Native Americans in all his work, which I really appreciate. But it's got Kevin Costner. And it's got, I think it maybe it has a West Studi. I don't remember, but I heard it's great and it's shot wonderfully. Something about everything he works on is shot so well. But going back to Ad Astra, I think that if judging from trailers here, you've seen the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood trailer.
Yes.
You've seen the Ad Astra trailer. Brad Pitt has a better shot at winning an Oscar for which film?
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Not that I think he'll have more screen time in Ad Astra since he's the main guy. But, one, being in a Tarantino film obviously carries weight on its own.
Yeah.
It's going to be more tension on it. But I have high hopes for Ad Astra. I have high hopes. And it gave us more. Do you remember the first Interstellar trailer? I believe it's his first. I had no idea. I mean, no idea what was going on. It was just like a little ship flying through space into a hole, if I remember right.
Okay.
That was it. All right. Sign me up.
You saw that and you're like, what? And then you saw Christopher Nolan and you're like, I'm sold.
Yep, and that's, it was right in that reconnaissance. All right. That's what I said when I bought my ticket. But that's pretty much it, man. That's all the trailers. We haven't gotten much movie news. We have a few rumblings of the Batman stuff still. Different things, but sort of waiting for news to break. But I was glad we got to talk about all these trailers. Today we're in a bit of a dilemma over what to see. Because on one hand, we have Rocket Man.
Yeah.
We know it's going to be great. Taron Egerton. It's got a 88% on Rotten, or 91. Fans got it at 88. On the other hand, we have Dark Phoenix. 24%.
See, I think we have to see it. Maybe not today.
Yeah.
But we have to see it. Just, we've been invested in this thing for too long to not see it.
Remember, we were talking about it recently, but going to the theater for X-Men Apocalypse
Oof.
We walk up, and I'm like, this is before we had reserved seating at Edwards, and like, all right, where's the line? Like, are all these people here for Dark Phoenix? And it was all Pokemon Go people. I mean, Dark Phoenix Apocalypse, right? Wasn't it that movie?
No, we got there and there wasn't
no one.
anyone
That's what it was.
at the
There's
theater.
nobody outside.
Nobody
lined
outside.
up.
We walked in. Nobody inside.
Like, is there an IMAX showing for Apocalypse? No.
Nope.
And so we asked for the first showing. They said 7:00. Got the ticket. Imagined it would be in the big auditorium at least. They tucked us in the corner auditorium,
The
which is by
smallest
far the
one.
worst. It's old. The seats are the worst. Speakers are the worst. And I will tell you that it took nothing away from that terrible cinematic experience.
Yeah, no.
It was like only the hardcore, like the people who go out there at 9 a.m.
people
with
we
me.
saw every time we went to a superhero premiere. Were
And
all
not
there.
even all of them.
Not even all of them.
And you know what? I checked the reserved seating. Dude, for the first IMAX showing of Dark Phoenix, there's
wide open.
pretty much wide open.
Jeez.
I don't know if there's any seats sold for the 7:00 standard.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It's real sad, like thinking about like how big the X-Men were
Could be,
at one
should
point.
be. Oh, we're at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's because people realize that, now that we have another horse in the stable in Marvel,
Yeah.
we're like, oh.
You're like, it's like, oh, this is what comic book movies could be.
Yeah, and I think that it's just sad. The thing that makes me more sad is that we're going to lose this cast.
Yeah.
And they're all being underserved because McAvoy is perfect. Fassbender is perfect.
Incredible.
How do you cast those two roles perfectly twice with very different age,
Yeah.
a big age gap, and people love and take to both sets of actors so well.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. I wish Disney could have gotten a hold of this cast, and I'm sure they'll cast great people when they reboot the X-Men.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, Nicholas Hoult, Jennifer Lawrence, and other people. You have a lot of people, and you have a great cast, and you didn't do anything. You have Simon Kinberg being a first-time director directing this movie. He's been a producer and writer and stuff on all the X-Men movies since the first X-Men, I believe.
Okay.
So they throw him this bone. I guess it's like, what do we got to lose? And apparently a lot, because they definitely lost money.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess it doesn't matter since Disney owns them.
Yeah.
I guess Disney dropped $65 billion for it. Not for this, but,
Yeah.
for everything.
For the greater.
I don't think they really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop it. See what we make. So this is just cash going back in Disney's pocket, recouping that $65 billion.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll do much.
No, it won't. That's a little.
It might not even.
Do you think it'll break even?
No, God, no. But I don't even think it'll be number one this week at the box office. I
No,
think
probably not.
Godzilla might hold on.
will probably carry over.
Worldwide, it'll hold on because of overseas.
Yeah.
The
overseas market loves Godzilla.
Hell yeah. And this market, as in this room, loves Godzilla also.
Yes.
I'll be honest though. Speaking of Godzilla, put a lot of thought into it. I rewatched 2014 Godzilla, rewatched Kong Skull Island, and King of the Monsters is my least favorite.
Really?
And it's Kong Skull Island is far away my favorite.
Okay.
And I was wrong. I thought Jordan Vogt Roberts, who directed Kong Skull Island, was directing Godzilla vs. Kong, and it's not.
Okay.
I forget who is Dan Trachtenberg, I think, is directing King Kong versus Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Kong 2020. But yeah, I don't know. I decided on my order, which is Kong Skull Island, Godzilla 2014, then Godzilla King of the Monsters, in that order, being my favorite to least favorite. Just because I thought the story... What, Dan?
Oh, the director for King Kong versus Godzilla is Adam Wingard.
Adam Wingard. Yeah, his credits... he directed Death Note on Netflix. So I am nervous.
Yeah.
And he's done some horror stuff, but I am pretty nervous.
Blair Witch.
I
VHS.
didn't like that. I like VHS, but nothing from VHS makes me think he's going to be able to pull off Kong versus Godzilla necessarily. I just wished Vote Roberts would have came back.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, I loved the potential. I just rewatching Godzilla.
Yeah.
I think that even though we barely get any Godzilla in it,
Mhm.
the stories are very good. I like the story a lot more than in King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
And I thought that when Godzilla does fight, it was a lot more intense, a lot more visceral. It seemed more real, if that makes sense. Not
Mhm.
real, but real's the wrong word.
Grounded.
Not even grounded. It just felt better.
Yeah.
And I also watched Pacific Rim recently, and it just made me cry, wishing that Guillermo could direct Godzilla versus Kong.
Man, if we got a Guillermo del Toro directed Godzilla,
I almost said it'd be awesome, man.
it would be
It's
great.
all we need, and we need the
I
crossover.
would love that so much.
We need the crossover.
Guillermo likes his scaly monsters.
Yeah, he does. He loves the scary, scaly monsters. It somehow turned into a fairy tale, and I'd be here for it.
Yeah.
But I was listening to what was it? An interview
Okay.
with the director of King of the Monsters, and it almost made me, if they would have put this in there, it would have swayed me. And sometimes King of the Monster, I think the more I watch it, Godzilla 2, I'll appreciate it more for what it did for me, basically because of Mothra.
Yeah.
I love Mothra. And he was talking about, I think it was on Collider Witching Hour or something.
Okay.
Yeah. He was talking about scenes that they had mapped out and written and all these different things that just ended up not making it to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about a post-credit scene they had where the girl, what's her name, from King of the Monsters who had the connection to Mothra,
Yeah.
the scientist, how she was going to meet with her twin sister and they were going to talk about Mothra dying, and she's like, Mothra, she always comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, but they're not ready. And she says something like, neither were we. And they go into some big temple like the one Godzilla was in his home
Yeah.
to see another set of twin girls who were probably their daughters next to another Mothra egg. And so,
Man, I would have loved.
We got to get another Mothra in Godzilla versus Kong.
I wish we had that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I would have taken that
I would've seen
over
it
the
again.
actual end credit
Same.
scene.
I would have seen it again. I
Because
understand why we have
just kind of made fun of the end credit scene a lot.
Who?
You and me.
Oh. Did we?
All the potential fake things they could have done with this.
Sorry for the Godzilla spoilers. But oops. Sorry. I may cut that out. Probably won't. So I may just go back.
Put it in the description.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. Godzilla spoilers heavy.
Heavy.
Well, I
Yeah.
would say
That's a pretty big spoiler, man.
honestly, I think that
That's a pretty big spoiler.
it is. It is. All right. I think it may be time to end the show.
Yeah,
I
before we
think
do
my
anything else.
I'm about to do a full spoiler review of Godzilla King of the Monsters. Let's do a full spoiler review of Joaquin Phoenix.
Just him.
That's the. Oh no, I'm sorry, Dark Phoenix. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's gonna be episode 18. Thank you everybody for tuning in with us for episode 18. We'll see you next week for episode 19. And until then, take care of yourself.